Good morning. It's Mona and it is my morning view. Today, Winter Edition 2026. It is Tips Tuesday. Tips Tuesday. So, we got through Snowgeddon. Approximately 2 feet. Approximately 2 feet. Up there, let's see where. Somewhere up there. Right there. That is the very top of my bird bath pedestal. For the winter, we take the bird bath, the tops in, and put them where they're not going to get broken. And that's the top of it. So they're approximately 2 feet high. It is just below it. So I'm thinking probably about 20 inches to 2 feet. And then, of course, you have your drifts. And then the piles that the plows have piled up upside the road that make it appear like it's more than 2 feet. So yeah, we survived the winter. No electricity outages at my place, so that was good. Doggy totally enjoyed the whole thing. She loves snow, probably more than anything. She knows some of her toys are up on the barbecue. The rest are buried. She found one yesterday. In the snow, believe it or not, she sniffed it out through, I don't know if it was 2 feet of snow, because it may have been that some of that was shoveled, and so there was some closer section to her, and she was like, wait, I know that smell. And she dug it out. However, the cold is not good for her. The snow isn't good for her. She slips, there's ice, there's all sorts of other issues that she's not too fond of. But she doesn't equate it with the snow. So, there's that. Sometimes you have fun and you don't realize that it's not good for you. It's not good for you. Some fun is not good for you. So I'm just trying to think of what tip I'm going to give you today, because it's Tip Tuesday, and I really don't have any major thoughts in my head right now. Just trying to reevaluate a few things for this new year. Not resolutions, just a reevaluation between checking our flocks and our herds. You've heard me talk about that before. You always want to evaluate your flocks and your herds. That equates to assets, that equates to skills, that equates to what is it that you have in your hand? What do you have in your hand? Because God can use whatever you have in your hand. That's, the whole Moses and the staff thing, right? So, yeah, I'm walking on the crunchy snow of the deck because I didn't get it completely cleared, as you can see. That was one of the things yesterday. I was thinking about how when we were kids, this is just an old woman rambling, okay? When we were kids, we helped people. Like if somebody needed help, you helped them. You didn't expect anything in return, you just did it. Now I get it. People with an entrepreneurial spirit is like, hey, I have this skill here. I could get paid for this skill. So let me go shovel snow. Now, where I came from, we didn't shovel snow. The snow fell. You just didn't go anywhere. Unlike, here on the East Coast, people have to still go places. So I don't remember snow ever canceling for school, school canceling for snow. You just put the chains on and you went. But anyways, where I came from, that's what you did. You saw somebody that needed help and you helped them. Now, if you didn't know, you didn't know. right? But people pretty much knew their neighbors. They knew their neighbors. I remember after I had grown up and moved away and everything, the neighbor kid that lived up the hill from my mom, he came down and helped my dad with firewood, chopping firewood, getting firewood stacked up. You know, my parents were older. They were in and out of the hospital quite a bit. So it wasn't like, you know, his mother was like the age of my sister, you know, so there was that. So, yeah, he came down and he helped my parents with firewood, and my parents were going to pay him for it because they understand, you know, the value of someone helping and having a skill or something that they don't have. And in this case, the skill was strength, that they no longer had their strength. So, so they understood that and were quite willing to pay him. And he was like, oh, no, just make me an onion sandwich. You know, those nice big Vidalia onions. Just make me a sandwich. That was his pay. That's all he wanted. Because that's how we were raised. We were raised in that area, that you helped each other out. And I'm sitting there. My husband and I are in our 60s. We're shoveling snow. We're doing the stuff. There's no kids coming around saying, hey, we'll shovel your snow off your deck for $20, you know, or for off our front stairs. The deck was, I had already done the deck. Well, we'll do the front stairs for $20. You know, the front stairs aren't very big, but oh, what a pain in my back. There were no kids coming by. There was some young adults that came by, probably getting paid by one of the neighbors who cannot shovel his own snow due to health issues. So with that, you know, he has to hire people to shovel snow, and so there was some young people to us, but probably adults. If not, they were maybe high school, but I'm thinking they were college age. College age kids that came over and was shoveling his snow while we were finishing up what we had to do in the front. And I'm sitting there going, I remember when I was a young adult and we moved up here briefly before my husband joined the Army, and there was an elderly lady that lived next to my mother-in-law. And I used to go over there and rake her leaves and shovel her snow. And again, she'd want to pay me a little bit for it. And I'm like, no, that's fine. So she'd get me a cup of hot cocoa or something. A good cup of hot cocoa is worth some money. All right. So anyways, so I would drink hot cocoa and I would just talk with her, you know, because she was an older woman. She had older sons. And I was just reflecting on that. And I'm like, people don't help people here much. They just don't. They don't look at, you know, there's an elderly person there was an elderly person that lived up on our block, and whoever happened to get to her yard first would clear the snow for her. One of those people have left already, but now she has her grandson with her, so she's not alone anymore. So she has young hands, young hearts, young muscles to help her out. And it seems to take us longer and longer to do our own, even though our driveway's like 5 feet shorter now that they put in the paved road. With our driveway being about 5 feet shorter, it takes us so long to do it. So here's my tip for today. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Don't get in a hurry. Don't lift more than you can comfortably with your shovel. Lift with your legs, not with your back. My problem is when I go to empty the shovel, I'm always twisting, and that's what's messing my back up. But it's not the lift, and it's not the speed. I know my husband used to go really quick and just go fish, 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 fish with the snow like he was a machine. And I didn't witness that outside, but we also have a snowblower now, where we didn't always have a snowblower. Oh, we always had a snowblower. It didn't always work. Let's rephrase that. But now we have a functioning snowblower, and we also have one of those electric shovels. So that helps. I did not use an electric shovel. I thought he was using it out front, in between the cars. And I found out he was not. He was using the shovel. And the regular shovel, just like I was. But it was this thing of, I'm only going to do what I can do. I'm only going to lift what I can lift. We found out that there was a man that was like 67 or 69 years old that died shoveling snow yesterday. Either yesterday or Sunday. I don't remember which, because there was multiple levels of removing snow for over the weekend. It wasn't just a one-time deal. But he passed away shoveling snow, and a lot of people that happens to, they get out there and they're shoveling and they're doing it too fast, they're doing it too heavy, too fast, they're hurting their backs, they're having heart attacks, and it's not wisdom. It's not wisdom. I get kids want to play. I get kids don't want to be out in the cold. I get kids, are like, well, what's in it for me? I get all that. But it just seems like a whole new breed of people that the values are not the same. Values of today have shifted. And they do with time. Values change. Just like morals change. Morals and values are not the same thing. I'm just thinking about these morals and values not being the same thing, and I'm equating that to doing too much with the snow and doing too much with the shoveling and the speed, and if you were going faster than your brain can think, if you're going faster than your body can maintain, you may need to step back and take a new view of your morals and your values. How important is it to remove the snow that fast that you throw caution to the wind and you do the stuff? Now, mind you, I'm not talking about snow. I want to make that clear. Yes, I am talking about snow, but I'm not talking about snow. I am talking about your morals and your values. At what regard to your being, what value do you attach to that? Obviously, speed and impatience was more valuable than health to some people who sit there and dive into that snow and take too much snow in their shovel, hurt their backs, too fast, get a heart attack, whatever it is. Now, mind you, usually a heart attack isn't going to just happen because of snow. That is a slow progression of bad choices for your health. Or it could be hereditary. So I'm not going to sit there and blame people for having heart attacks. I mean, absolutely hereditary things happen. But a lot of times it's the lack of awareness. It's a lack of awareness that gets you. And so you need to be aware. And you need to be aware of your values. You need to be aware of your morals. And you need to know which route that is taking you in life. And so that's my tip for today. All right. Blessings, everybody. Have a great day. Enjoy my winter wonderland. Hope you do. All right. Blessings, everybody. I got to take my glove off. Urgh. It's not a pretty sight. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.